Film breakdown, video analysis of some things that the Browns learned in Game 1 against the Ravens to give them a chance to beat them in Game 2. Lance, as always, appreciate the time. So take us through the first one. Continue to make the Ravens a pass-oriented team.
Yeah, I thought they did a first job. You look here, Miles is playing the run really well. You got Mason Graham, these guys inside. You'll see Miles is going to win with getting really skinny there. You look inside, you're going to see how Mason Graham turns his shoulder, kind of points his shoulder at Lamar. That makes him really hard to block for the guy. And you can see they just played the run really, really well, this aggressive style. You're going to see here, watch as they read this coming downhill. You're going to see all three linebackers trigger and pull. We used to say, read what you see and pull the trigger, and they all do that. They played the run so well. They were consistent in what they did. They made the Ravens a pass team, and I know Lamar Jackson threw the ball well, and he had a lot of red zone success. That had partly to do with his special teams. But when you face a great player like Lamar, I learned this from my dad. Even though he does everything well, you have to make him do what he does not as great. Even though he throws it great, he's not as great as he is when he's outside the pocket, scrambling, making plays, improvising. So you got to keep him in the pocket. If he can beat you from the pocket, then he can beat you from the pocket. But you know he can beat you from outside the pocket. So again, when you face these great quarterbacks, you got to do the best you can, limit what they do, but they got to make sure that they stop the run like they did in the first game. They really controlled Derrick Henry, didn't give him any room to run. They got to continue to do that.
Yeah, and Henry was a non-factor. If they're able to make Henry a non-factor, again, big if, that gives them a chance to be successful.
Well, yeah, and you've heard this a bunch about that big back. You got to get him stopped before he gets rolling downhill. You got to get him run sideline to sideline. If he's running sideline to sideline, he's got to make a cut. He's not as good. He's a big body guy. He's like the best way to think about him is he's like a train. Once the train gets rolling, it's hard to get him off his tracks. You got to prevent him from getting on the tracks and get him going sideways. They've always had great success, in my opinion, against Derrick Henry. A lot of times, especially with Schwartz, just because that penetrating style makes him go side to side a little bit more. Again, I think they'll do a great job. I think this defense is still playing. I think there's a lot of want-to in this team still. So I expect them to get that after it and stop the run.
The other thing, Lamar Jackson beat him a lot with his legs and with his arm, but Jackson's knee gave him balky a little bit earlier in the week, so didn't practice one day this week. I would imagine he's going to be close to 100%, but if he's going to run the ball, they got to make it. They have to have people make them feel them when he runs the football.
Yeah, you're right. If he's hurt, you're not trying to hurt him, but you got to make sure that you're hitting him. You got to make sure you get him on the ground. You got to make sure, when he's banged up, they probably won't have as many design runs, which I think are easier to stop than when he's scrambling and improvising. Lamar Jackson is all the big runs, I'm a big Lamar Jackson fan. The thing that I think he kills you with most is the third medium off script. From the pocket runs to keep those drive alive. He's just amazing with that. Not only does he run the ball, but he keeps it alive and then throws it well too. We've seen him do that to Andrews over the years against the Browns. So you got to make him throw from the pocket. Unfortunately, in my opinion, he's become a top 10 guy from the pocket. But outside the pocket, improvising and keep the plays alive, he's the best. So I'd rather have make him be a top 10 guy, not the best guy.